Trans people deserve something vital. They deserve your respect. I'd like to thank, personally, my buddy Diane. So, you know, you can only tell your story the first time once, and Diane, you did it so authentically and so gracefully.
What I'm about to say is going to rub a lot of you the wrong way. But I'm going to say it anyway, because this is my true, honest thoughts right now. That made me feel extremely uncomfortable. I'm not as mature as you all when it comes to this topic at all. All right? But I'm learning, because the world is changing. That's what we do. When the world changes, and we're introduced to different ways of different lifestyles, different ways of living, we have to adjust with it, because we're not in this world alone. But I think it's quite all right to not lie to yourself and just go along with the flow and just be like, okay, this is the new thing, I'm right along with it. No, nah, I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. I'm moving in that direction. That's called progression. I'm progressing. I'm a progressive, I guess. But yeah, that made me feel uncomfortable watching Bruce, Caitlyn Jenner. As you can see, I'm still calling Caitlyn Bruce. But it's it's baby steps. So if you're one of them type of people that can just say, "Oh, it is what it is. This is new, but I'm right there with it," without even thinking about it, then I honestly think you're lying to yourself, because nobody just pops up and be like, okay, everything that I learned in over the years, and everything I learned in church and all these things and the Bible and my Christianity walk is completely out of the way, because the world has changed. Now, it takes some time. So, but we got to be mature in order to do that.
Ben, does she deserve this award?
For what?
For courageously coming forward, for having been an athlete of great prowess and now fighting a new battle.
What exactly is the battle? I mean, self-definition is what you do, and my baby's doing it at 18 months old. I wasn't aware that you get a medal for it.
She good?
I think she's a pro. I thought the message...
Ben Shapiro. Okay. Ben Shapiro, ladies and gentlemen. My gracious. Sheesh. What in the world? This dude just... All right.
But don't tell me you're walking the truth for other transgender kids of color who don't have that war chest of money to get the surgery to look like she looks. They're not going to get the cover of Vanity Fair. So don't tell me that she is going to stand on the banks waving her hand as the beacon for transgenders when there's a river of blood of people that die.
Okay, regardless.
Wow. Who is this brother again? Sheesh. Oh my God. And that's why we need to have these conversations. Now, his stance was a bit more aggressive, but I'm with him. I'm with him on it. I apologize, but that's where I am. I mean, because some people don't have this. It's other people out there who are fighting the fight every single day, front line. And those are the people being bullied. Those are the people being killed. Those are the people committing suicide. Those are the people. But you have someone who's been able to live their life, have some children, live an amazing life as a man, as a sports star, and all these things, all these wonderful things, and be able to separate themselves from the rest of the world because of all of the wealth that they have. And then when they're ready, they can come out and be their true selves, and they're held at high regard as the hero. That right there, okay.
Flown helicopter missions, surveillance missions. I've been shot, stabbed. Being brave is being yourself, and being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do. Did she deserve the award? Yes.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why do you call it delusion?
Because Bruce Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
because
it's her. You're not being polite to the pronouns.
Because
disrespectful.
Okay, forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out.
Oh my gracious, bruh. Facts do not care about your feelings. Forget the disrespect. Are we having a conversation as adults? We're talking facts, not feelings. Wow.
Chromosomes within
We
our
both know
nuclei. Yeah, go ahead.
chromosomes don't necessarily mean you're male or female.
Gender.
With gender,
Gender
of course.
identity. Go ahead. No, so
Especially, but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on
Would you like
genetics.
to discuss the genetics? Or
well, no,
what
no.
are your genetics? Sir?
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Now, see this right here? This right here is extremely disrespectful. First of all, we're having a conversation, a clear conversation. We're all adults. You touching me, first of all, is a no-no. Get the hell off of me, period. Don't touch me at all. We are not there. Our relationship is not there. Now you got your hand around my neck threatening me because I am being truthful the same way you're being truthful. That's disrespectful as hell. I don't give a damn if you fought and got stabbed and shot and all this other stuff. You want me to buy into what you represent right away? It does not work right away. And that right there is the problem. This right here is the problem. What y'all are seeing right now, this is the problem.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well, but wait. To be fair, but to be fair, you're actually being
Hey,
kind
guys.
of rude.
You're
and that's not fair.
What?
Sorry, it's not rude.
Whoa, brother. The gentleman on I'm talking to the black man now. Come on, brother. To be fair, you're being kind of rude. Damn that happens in political conversations. Rudeness happens. It doesn't happen where if somebody's being rude, you can say, okay, now I'm about to whoop your ass. We never seen that in no daggone presidential debate, and they're rude to each other all the daggone time. I mean, they got on suits and they're pointing with their thumbs and they're trying to be as politically correct as possible. Come on, but nobody's going to take up for this gentleman right here, regardless if he feels the way that he feels. Somebody should let this person know that what they're doing is wrong. Period. That's not right.
No, you knew very well that saying that to Zoe would be egregiously insulting.
It's not a matter of insulting or inflammatory.
It
It's
is.
fact.
No,
Wow.
Sir, you're right. Hey, on paper, what is a fact is a fact, and I can't deny that. But you knew that going in that saying that to Zoe would be aggressively insulting.
Okay. So nobody's going to address the fact that Chloe was wrong for threatening that guy. If Chloe would touch somebody and threaten somebody who was as aggressive as me, then y'all would have been picking Chloe's ass up off the floor. And then I would have been wrong for saying something that's offensive to Chloe. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Everybody's biased towards Ben Shapiro because he's speaking his truth that's opposite from everybody else in the room.
Statistical disparity. For example, overwhelmingly men commit crimes more than women, but we don't say that the Justice Department is sexist. So is there a line that you draw for yourself, or is there some way that you interpret statistical disparity and you determine that that is not a racial disparity, it's something else? Well, we can return to it. That's okay too. Ben, do you want to?
Yes. It's called evidence of racism. When there is no evidence of racism, it's probably not racism. When there is actual evidence of racism, it's probably racism. And the fact that everybody jumped...
Okay, that's what? If it's evidence of racism, then it's probably racism. If there's no evidence of racism, see that evidence BS? Because again, people in power hide evidence. People in power make sure that the cameras are off so that what was supposed to have been caught was not caught. So at some point, guys, come on now. Come on, Ben. Come on, Ben. I've heard him speak in a couple of other videos, and I honestly think that for the most part, he's pretty fair based off, and he usually goes off of statistics and research and those type of things. But when you talk about evidence is very shaky because it always leans to those in power.
Charles, I want to ask you a question. So your default Your default is that when there is no evidence, racism is the deciding factor. That is
No,
your default.
no, I was not saying that. I'm just saying that, that you're going to have sexists, you're going to have racists, you're going to have all this stuff. I mean, I'm just saying that.
I agree it exists, but the problem that I'm seeing, and this is the problem with the general conversation, is that there's no solution in simply saying there's racism out there. How does that solve anything? I mean, when you talk about there's institutional racism, what does that mean? Show me a law that is racist in intent, and we will agree. Show me a police officer who commits a racist act like we saw in South Carolina, right, where a police officer shot a black man running away and it was obviously unjustified, and I will agree. But you need, the idea that you can craft a narrative based on no racism because it just must be somewhere out there in the ether, that doesn't solve problems for anybody and creates more problems for people because now they grow up in a milieu and an environment where they are told that every obstacle they face is from some shadowy, nameless, faceless group who is out to get them simply because of the color of their skin.
That's not true. And don't generalize. That's not how black people are thinking, but black people are smart enough to realize that some cards are not in their favor because of power. And who has power? White people. And no black people have the power right now. And when it comes to that point is 1 + 1 = 2. We just do our math. But at the end of the day, providing any type of evidence that this is happening is they try to provide some type of evidence, but can't really get to it, can't get to the evidence to show that these things are happening. Even when you brought up the police shooting someone, when somebody tried to go and get the proof of that happening, it disappears. When somebody tried to go and get proof of certain freedom fighters being snatched off the streets and disappearing, and next thing you know, they hung themselves inside of a jail cell, there's no proof of that either. That at first they was living their life, living beautifully, fighting for freedom for black people. And next thing you know, they're locked up with no evidence of them committing the crime, but then they commit suicide all of a sudden. And when somebody try to prove that what happened to them was not of their own doing, that evidence disappears and nobody is charged. So when these things continue to happen over and over and over and over again, they have to surmise that is something deeper than what they actually see. And sorry, but institutional racism is one of those things. Now, it might seem ignorant for me saying it, obviously, because I'm not one of them people who go and do all this research and whatnot. And what I hear pretty much in passing because I try to duck and dodge these type of conversations. But it still sounds like every single person on this panel is, especially you, Mr. Shapiro, and I actually like what I've heard from you so far. But right now, dude, everything cannot be proven. And if you're thinking that way, you are just way off, man. I mean, you are way off. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it, but I'm gonna still follow it and try to see what I can learn. I am so upset. I will say that I'm so upset at the representation that was on that panel. For everybody to be trained in what they do, highly educated, being lawyers and all this other stuff. Ben Shapiro is a lawyer, and he was speaking way more than anybody else. And yeah, he pretty much did smack y'all down. And his title is true. He smacked them down with information that they could not debunk. They was not ready for that conversation. They felt so uncomfortable that they were quiet. And that's an issue for me. And I wish that I was schooled enough. It almost makes me want to go more into these conversations just to learn more, just to see if I do feel the way that I actually do.
Accepted because they don't really fit in either place. They can't just like...
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written though? Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Where's that written that you gotta be a boy in order to be a Boy Scout? He said in the name Boy Scouts, because it's Boy Scouts. Wow.
In the name Boy Scouts.
That was good. That was actually really good.
Because this is
because this is a very, because for all of human history, boy meant boy and girl meant girl. Boy did not mean girl. And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No, yes, that's right. Men and women are a completely different thing. This is true. Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different.
You can't just say you're a cat. It's not a thing. It's genders. It's not saying you're.
Okay, why is that? I don't understand. Why? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, I won't ask you how old. I will ask you how old you are. Okay, because you're young enough that it's probably not insulting to ask you. So.
I'm 22, so I'm probably young and naive, right?
No. Why aren't you 60? Why aren't you 60?
She confused as hell. Like, why would I be 60? Why would I be 60? Why would you even bring that up? We're talking about something completely different right now. Why would you ask me that? I'm trying to focus on what we're talking about. He was like, no, I'm setting you up right now. We're playing chess. And you don't realize it. You're over there playing Monopoly. I'm playing chess. So he about to really trip you up, and I can see it coming a mile away.
Why aren't you 60? And why can't you identify as 60? What is the problem with you identifying as 60?
It's not the same as gender. You can't just.
You're right. Age is significantly less important than gender. You can't magically change your gender. You can't magically change your sex. You can't magically change your age.
You can still legally change it. People recognize.
You can't legally change your age, by the way.
Obviously, you can change your name, you can change your sex, you can change your identity.
Just because you can do things legally doesn't mean that they are correct biologically. You could do lots of things in the past that were incorrect biologically and correct legally. For a long period of time in the United States, sterilization of the mentally ill took place. That didn't make it okay. Skinner versus Oklahoma. Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote the decision.
Slavery. Slavery. God damn it. So, I've been checking out Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro, and a lot of people have an issue with both of those guys. A lot of people have an issue with Joe Rogan. So, this is where we are. I received an email today. I'm protecting the person who sent me this email. I'm not going to say who sent me this email, but I will read some of it just for you to know exactly what they're saying. So, they said to me, I've been an LFR family subscriber for a few months now, and I've been enjoying your music reactions. I'm writing you today because I wanted to address some recent political reactions you've done. In case you aren't aware, Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson are ultra-right wing trolls. Now, this is coming from information that this person has, all right? This person believes that Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson are ultra-right-wing trolls. Whatever that may mean, I don't know what it means to me, but apparently it means a great deal to the rest of the world that since they are ultra-right-wing trolls, I should not be checking them out. So then they go on to say they are both racist, misogynist, anti-Semites, and homophobes. Now, I'm not reacting to these guys because I believe that they might be racist or misogynist or anti-Semite or homophobes. Based off of the information I've received so far from checking them out, I'm not getting that vibe from either one of them. I do get the vibe that they have different thought processes, that they have different understandings of things, and they just present their way of thinking a little differently. Now, if they are these things, right? Just let's say that they are racist, they are misogynist, they are anti-Semitic, and they are homophobes. Am I to go into the past of all of the artists that I react to, of all of the comedians that I react to? Am I to do that type of homework and figure out what type of person they are deep down inside before I decide to give them a chance with reacting to them? Guys, my job is to react to things that interest the people who follow my channel. The people who follow my channel, they show up to view the videos of the artists and the comedians or whomever is on the platform because they enjoy this content. If they didn't enjoy this content, they would not watch. If they are these facts, if they are these things, I have not seen these facts. When I see these facts, then I will make my own assessment, and I will move on because I think differently than a lot of people. You think differently than me, right? But I got to make up my own mind, right? You don't think that's owed to me to be able to make up my own mind? I mean, I get it. Let me finish reading this, and then I'm gonna move forward. And there is no way that Joe Rogan didn't know it was wrong to use the N-word. It wasn't that long ago, and I was shocked and appalled that you seem willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's your choice, I suppose. I certainly can't tell you, as a black man, what and who you should believe. Okay. Now, that was a bit of an attack on me as a black person, right? But I don't take it as an attack because I've been through way too much for this to rub me any type of way that's any type of way that is rubbing you right now. Is making you extremely uncomfortable that I am reacting to Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and Joe Rogan. And I'm not doing this to bother anybody in any type of way at all, because I appreciate every single supporter that has watched one of my videos, all right? But what I'm not going to do is be bullied into checking this person out or not checking this person out. That's not going to happen. One thing I'm doing is I'm watching these people in debates. I'm watching these people discuss real issues that we have to deal with on a daily basis. And instead of me judging him based off of information that you all give us, you all are telling me that these guys are racist and they're misogynists and they're homophobes and they're this, that, and the other. If I just listen to that and I don't even give them a chance, guess what? I won't learn anything. I won't. I will be stuck in my position where I was before. I will be just as ignorant. Well, I'll be even more ignorant by not even looking into them. But one thing that I learned is these guys do say some things that I agree with, and they do say some things that I don't agree with, just like every single one of you. If we sit down and have a conversation, 9 times out of 10, we're not going to agree with every single thing that we say. We're not. But I don't understand how I'm adding toward negativity by simply reacting to them. And I adore my subscribers. I appreciate every single last person that hit the like button, that hit the play button on my channel. I'm extremely thankful. I'm extremely appreciative of every single last one of you. Unless you believe that you can control me and make me do only what you want me to do. If you're one of those people, no, I'm not a huge fan of yours.
Okay, hold on. Looking for Jose. There we go.
Look at Ben Shapiro's face, man. He looked like he really don't like. He's like, this chick is just getting on my daggone nerves. Just hurry up and figure it out, lady. Hurry up and figure it out, lady.
And I want you to really remember this.
Oh, no.
Never let anybody tell you who you are. You tell them who you are. And who you know you are. And what you intend to be. Got that?
The important face.
All right.
You got
I
that?
got more advice. You just let me
Oh, she's terrible at this. Oh, she's so bad at this. So
I thought that was good advice. Was that bad advice? Never let anybody tell you who you are. You tell them who you are. And who you are not. And who you ain't. And who you is. INDEPENDENCE.
like she just dropped a little piece of Aristotelian wisdom.
I swear, Ben, man. Look, shout out to you, Ben Shapiro. I think you're actually a good dude. Honestly, I think you're cool. No, I don't. I don't think you're cool. Not at all. I don't think you're cool at all, bruh. But I do think you're extremely intelligent, and I respect you for it. And yeah, I like the fact that you're having fun. Don't be mad because I'm saying something about your boy Ben either. Ben cool with me. We cool. We've been cool since grade school. Hit the subscribe button for me and also the notification bell.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the
I
real?
can hear you.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlemagne.
I really-
Come on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell
No,
sometimes.
no. it's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris. And the reality is, because we are in office, we do the things like the child tax credit, which is going to reduce black child poverty by 50%.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
And I inhale. I did inhale.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not, and worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row.
Pennsylvania alone, 1,100 mules, averaging 50 Dropbox visits and 5 ballots per visit. That's 275,000 illegal votes, again, comfortably exceeding the 80,000 vote margin between Trump and Biden. Man. So Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes goes for Trump.
Nah, man. I'm nah. So they were just out there hiring a whole bunch of people just to run all over the place. Y'all want to make some money right quick? You want to make $50? Who want to make $50? Who want to make $50? You want to make $50? You want to make $60? Who want to make $75? You want to make $75? You want to make $80? We got you. Come here, let me holler at you right quick. Okay, that's all I'm gonna need you to do, right? You see this map right here? I'm gonna get y'all an Uber. All of y'all can get an Uber, huh? Be in the same Uber. All right? And y'all gonna just go all over. We already gave them the information. You just jump out and you put these envelopes. Don't worry about it. Put these envelopes right inside of the boxes. And then you leave. Get back in the Uber and go to the next stop. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Each one you get, we give you $50. Huh? Sound like a sweet deal? Sweet deal. You know what? That would be if it was 1,100 people. That would be almost that would be a little bit more than $5,000, right? They giving everybody, no, sheesh, that'd be a lot more. That'd be $50,000, man. Sheesh, that's crazy, bro.
Okay, so the supposition now is being extended. So this is my problem with the documentary. I think that there are dots they're not filling in. You can question all the ballot harvesting. You can take for granted that all the geolocation data that they're using is actually true. As we'll see, many of the fact checkers don't. I have doubts about how the fact checkers are doing this. That does not mean that all of those ballots are illegal votes, right? So Dinesh calls them illegal votes right there because they are presumably illegally picked up and dropped off. This is the claim that was made in Pennsylvania, by the way, which I think actually had some veracity, which is that the procedures used in Pennsylvania were illegal. That does not mean that these are quote unquote illegal votes, meaning that they were all cast fraudulently or that they are fake or anything like that, right? So that the claims are distinctive and again, it means rigging in a different way. It leads to the possibility of voter fraud, but it is not proof of actual voter fraud. It is proof of really, really bad and possibly fraudulent voter procedures. Not quite the same thing. Okay, so now I want to go.
Okay, so that's legal? All right. Okay. All right, I'm confused as hell.
Travel to take them past these drop boxes in non-election circumstances. Okay, PolitiFact does sort of the same.
You can tell that he's a daggone lawyer sometimes because he dives right in on the non-fungibles and all these other things. Like, bro, you just smart as heck.
Travel to take them past these drop boxes in non-election circumstances.
But I do think when he gets into his lawyer bag, he comes off as more honest. Because if it's law, then to me that says, okay, all right. For this brief moment, it doesn't sound like you're far right, Ben. For this.
As to the increase in illegal abortions, I would assume there would be an increase in illegal abortions because all abortions would be illegal. And just logically speaking, anytime you make something illegal that occurs, there will be more illegal instances of that thing happening. And I'm sure that when slavery was legal, then, it was legal. That didn't make it either moral, decent, or right. Once it was made illegal, then I'm sure that everyone who was holding a slave was in violation of the law. So I guess there were more illegal holdings of slaves after we made slavery illegal. But there was less absolute slavery, which is the actual goal. Yeah, you can ask a follow-up. That's fine. That's fine.
An illegal holding of the slave, illegally holding a slave doesn't kill the slave and doesn't possibly kill the mother.
I don't think you want to go down the road where you're justifying slavery. I mean,
That's right, bro. That's right, especially when you're standing right next to a black dude that's holding a microphone for you, brother. Come on now. Come on now. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing. He about to rip you to shreds.
But if the inherent value you're trying to protect is the value of free speech itself, then you have no choice but to tolerate dissent. It's what makes so in certain ways it's more dangerous, in certain ways it's a lot safer. Let's put it this way. I would much rather not trust the government to pick and choose which opinions are okay than allow the government to shut down opinions that I don't like.
What? For everybody that's watching this that can't wait for me to have a disagreement with Ben Shapiro, look, it's not like I'm not looking to find that part where I disagree, nor am I trying my best to subdue my agreement with him. But that's when he make great points. He make good points.
I don't understand for the life of me. I don't understand for the life of me why we are telling women that their best and greatest superpower, creating another human from their own body, is less important than working as an associate law clerk. Working 2,100 billable hours, checking footnotes, is somehow more important than raising the next generation of human beings that you made with your own body and then bringing them up. Now, some people may choose that. Fine, again, for the 1,000th time, that's fine, do what you want, it's a free country. But if you're going to indoctrinate women to believe that happiness comes from working as an accountant, but not from spending more time with your children, there's not a single person who on their deathbed said, I wish I had done one more doc review.